everybody. I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast, live from the Dice Tower Retreat. You can see the collection here behind me. Wow, this has been a great time. We'll talk more about the retreat, but we're going to do this again next year, and if you just want to come to a place where you can play games, this is the spot. So I have a few things to talk about. First of all, we want to thank Pandasaurus for sponsoring this episode. Pandasaurus has some great games. Many of them are in this library. People are playing their stuff right and left. The Machikoro Legacy is a really cool version of Machikoro. And when you're done, you have your own custom set of Machikoro, which is a lot of fun. And also, I want to talk about this week, me and Z Garcia are going to be at Midgard, a convention in Iceland. That's going to be super fun. We're glad if you're coming there, come say hi to us, come play games with us. We're very excited and pumped about that. There was no board game breakfast last Thursday, so the War Game news and Kickstarter news are going to be in today's episode. They're going to be in just a second, but before them, we also like to welcome a new How to Play person to Dice Tower Videos, Stella. I'll let her introduce herself, and then we'll have the news.
Hi, it's Stella from Meeple University. I have Taryn with me this time.
Hello.
In this segment, I'm not going to share about any board games, but we are sharing something that is really exciting for us and hopefully also help this board game community.
As some of you may already know, we have our own YouTube channel, Meeple University, where we mostly have how to play videos. We also do overviews, playthroughs, Stella's short and sweet overviews, girls play games, and our vlog videos.
Can I share the news?
Do share.
Yay! Well, we will also be doing rules or how to play videos on the Dice Tower Network, this channel, in the near future. Yay! So thank you to Tom Vasel, who is giving us the chance to do this. And I also want to thank you a few other folks that have helped us getting this ready to go. Lindsay, Mark Street of Board Game Corner, Roy Kennedy, and last but not least, Kenny. So Kenny is the one that you don't see on the channel. But when I went to Gen Con 2019 and spent time with the crew, I found out Kenny is the one that worked behind the screen. And quoting Roy, he is the unsung hero of the channel.
So our how to play videos, they're the first ones that we did. They're the backbone of our channel, and we've been doing them since we started in February 2018. And that's what we're now going to be bringing to the Dice Tower. Certainly we've grown in this area since our early videos, as anyone would expect to. And we're very excited to be producing more of this sort of content for this channel in the future.
To be honest, I don't really particularly like our first video ever, but most content creators are like that, I think. So maybe don't watch it, or maybe watch it. Well, anyway, I'm so excited, and hopefully I'll see you more on the Dice Tower Network. Until next time.
Hello, fellow gamers. This week's Kickstarter features pirates and revenge, chases and escapes, true love. Okay, maybe not true love, but we do have some awesome Kickstarters lined up for you. Featured this week, we have Moonrakers by 4 Studios, which is for 1 to 5 space outlaws looking to shoot first and earn prestige to become leader of the colony for 60 to 120 minutes, as players will negotiate with others to complete contracts so they can hire new crew members to add to their decks and collect ship parts, all while trying to avoid those pesky space job hazards in this hand management game that starts at $55. Speaking of space pirates, Windward by Eldorado Games has 1 to 4 space whalers chasing down leviathans, hiring crew members to plunder other players' cargo for 45 to 75 minutes in this tactical programming game that challenges players to set sail using the wind, manage 3-dimensional space, to hunt leviathans, and of course pick up and deliver that sweet, sweet cargo. Now, a treasure like this can be buried on your bookshelf for a mere $54. Next up is After the Empire by Grey Fox Games, that calls for 2 to 4 leaders looking to protect their castles by fortifying walls, taking in refugees, and placing defenses for 90 minutes. In this worker placement style game that utilizes economics to grow your kingdom, as an ever-growing force outside just continues to batter your gates in this $85 game that crowns a winner to whoever just failed the least. And pro tip, guys, don't let those wooden horses in. Finally, we have Reigns the Council by Nerial, which calls for 3 to 6 backstabbing yet creative storytelling friends to join you in a 20 to 40 minute social adventure, as everyone will be looking to take the royal throne and gain the longest tenure in the most treacherous and hilarious way. This game starts at $34. Thanks so much for joining me this week, guys. If you want to know more about any of the Kickstarters that you saw here today, then join me at gloryhound.com as we talk about all of these Kickstarters in depth and if we would back them or not. It is me and 2 other co-hosts and you guys live talking to us. Other than that, I will talk to you guys all next week.
I like Houndd. It's a cutesy-pootsy company, you know what I mean? It's run by a husband and wife team. Tom. And I was fortunate enough to meet Tom. The guy is so adorable. Every time I think of Tom, I think of this. Aww! My point on the Dice Tower is to introduce you to war games. Not difficult war games, easy war games which you're going to be interested in. And to act stupid. I didn't say it. Okay, short history lesson. Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg means lightning war. Krieg means war. I'm assuming blitz means lightning. So the tactic of Blitzkrieg is to use mechanized infantry, tanks, guns, and all that with guys with close air support. Real close. And if you were unlucky in 1939 to be in Poland, well, you got blitzed. Okay, class is over. Why am I talking about that? Because Houndd just put out a game a few years ago called Blitzkrieg. Bits! Little bits, not blitz, bits. And look at the cute little tanks there. Aww! What you got with this game are 2 dice, a little baggie worth of chits, a cute little playing board. Look how cute that is. That's the board. That's my hand, board hand. And a 4-page rule book with cute tanks drawn on it again. Aww! Look, you soggy Melba toast, I'm starting to get sick of your But, shut up! The board has 6 columns of 6 rows. So, what's that for? Well, you roll your first die, that's going to be the column, and then you roll your second die, and that's going to be the row. And that's where you place your terrain. Once all your obstacles are placed, it's time to choose your tanks. You have 12 tanks, you choose 5 out of the 12. Each player has 4 types of tank to choose from. You have a light tank, medium tank, heavy tank, and a tank destroyer. Some tanks attack with 1 die, some tanks attack with 2 dice. You have your armor, what it takes to blow up that tank. Now you choose which side of the board you want to play on, and then you place your flags. Yep, this is a capture the flag type of game. No one gets hurt. It's a passive war game. The light tank has 3 movement. It moves 1, turns 90 degrees, moves 2, moves 3, turns 90 degrees, ready to kill the tank. This game was designed by Scott Muldoon and his son Miles. I think he was 5. So, you see, anybody can play this game. Me too? I said anybody, not anything. I think Z might like that game. Z? Why couldn't it be called Bob, like something normal? 'Cause that letter was taken by his sister, who's called B. So when they're together, you can never get a hold of them. And why is that? Because they'll always be BZ. Blitzkrieg, Houndd, Scott and Miles Muldoon design. Fun game. See you next week.
All right, so what did I find on the internet this week? We have How to Play the Game of Life. Maybe, sort of. A funny video by the brothers Murph. And I mentioned Paula Deming last time, but again, I'll mention her again. She did one called To Live and Dice in L.A. Her videos are really fantastic, and I'm also pleased to announce that she will be joining us for Dice Tower Cruise this year, or, well, in 2020 at the beginning. Shadiversity, Swords and Fantasy Stuff. Shadiversity is a YouTube channel, which isn't about games at all, but if you're designing games or anything, this guy goes into great depth about medieval stuff. Sometimes he talks about how it's used in computer games and things like that, and it's just really cool in-depth videos. Your Move, What Board Games Teach Us About Life This is a a book about board games written by Joan Moriarty with a co-author, Jonathan Kay. Joan is one of the guru teachers at Snakes and Lattes, so I'm actually really interested in hunting this book down and reading it. Board Game Squad has done a top 100 games list. What they did is they went and found a lot of reviewers, Dice Tower included, and other reviewers, and then kind of ranked our rankings of our top games and made a top 100 games of reviewers and stuff. It's an interesting list. All right. This is just a cool video for visual effects, and that's Mousetrap board game, but it's with a macro camera. Man, I want one of these cameras. It's really a good look for the game. Board game shelves. Everyone has board game shelves, Calyx board game shelves, but I found a guy who made Tetris-shaped board game shelves. They look amazing. Really cool. And Board Game Geek, we got to mention that they are now mobile friendly. They've changed the thing, so if you want to look at them on your devices, it's a lot easier. Huzzah. That's what I found on the internet this week. If you have something you'd like me to showcase, send it to Tom at Dicetower.com.
Randy and Ellen, we game together.
It's your turn. Ooh. Hello, everyone. I am Randy.
I'm Ellen. We game together.
Together.
This particular game, I remember the day you told me about it because you were like, "There's this game coming to Kickstarter."
Yeah. We were watching Dice Tower. It was a Dice Tower preview live play thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you sent me the link, and I was like, "I don't want to."
What do you think of this?
And I was like, "This looks fine." And then we played it, and I was like, "That's really fun."
Yes, it is just.
It's light.
Pure. Yeah, it's
silly.
super light. There's a lot of luck.
Yeah.
And we don't usually gravitate towards those games. We're very much Euro gamers.
Yeah.
But this is just set up in a perfect package, I think, of just fun.
Yeah.
Just flat out fun.
It is just fun.
You're driving around, you're collecting eggs, you're trying to defeat worms. We didn't play very optimally at all, but it was fun, regardless.
It was fun. And I actually like the fact that there's like a row of cards at the top you can look at and try to like accomplish one of those. So like if I drop off a certain color combination of cards at a specific location, I get like
egg.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Thank you. Thank you for having my back.
Good thing we were together, otherwise you would be screwing this up.
I would. It would be really embarrassing. Oh my gosh. So then you get extra points for doing such things.
Yes.
And I believe
there's also ones for hunts also.
So.
Oh, see, we'll
it's
scrub
cool
that part
because you
out.
actually have characters, and your characters can die, and you can like go to the hospital and
revive them.
But
you have 3 characters regardless, so you can technically get eliminated, but it would be, I would imagine, quite hard to actually get eliminated. Lots of fun. Like I said, they pop up, the worms pop up, and then you can attack them if you're within their attack range. Each one has different like attack patterns, like a cross or a big wide area, or just kind of a general corner to corner. So kind of lots of neat things, and you actually are the one that's activating those worms.
Yeah.
So as you play a movement card, you move along the board. It also causes a distraction for the worm, most likely. And then you can try to direct them towards somebody. And then if you play that last card to meet that worm's maximum, that worm pops up. So you can almost have worms attack other people if you play it right.
I don't also tend to like games when at 2-player you have to do something for, something on the board. But you had to make the worms pop up after you both went, and I don't love that. I don't love doing that in games, but it worked. It was fine at 2. It was fine.
Yeah, it worked. The 2-player variant I thought was good.
It's a good time.
So probably better with more players, but
probably
good. Check us out there. Picture next time.
Hi, Mike Delisio from Solo Mode Games. Today I want to talk about IP-based games, or games that feed off of a nostalgia that you might have had. In the past, these are the types of games that you might get off the store shelf and play it once just for nostalgia's sake, never play it again. Probably almost a disposable game. Well, lately those types of IP-based games, nostalgia-based games, have been connected to some really solid titles. The first one that kind of surprised me was this Bob Ross game from a year or so ago. I didn't expect much. I got it on a lark, and it turns out it's a nice little Ticket to Ride style set collection game. Next, I got this Monster Crunch game, and I thought, well, certainly a game based off of breakfast cereals, there can't be anything here. Well, again, it's Gateway. It's a nice little card shedding game. These are games that in the past would have been almost disposable. You'd never play them more than once. Now you're getting real games. The Trapper Keeper game. Can this be a real game? Sure, it's a nice little set collection game. These are games that are going to draw new gamers into the hobby. And instead of a disposable game where they feel like this is what modern games are like, they're getting a feel for what we see, which is these wonderfully rich and diverse hobby games. Jaws. This is a terrific game. It's got more than maybe even a gateway type of a feel to it. There's a real game there that even next step gamers can get into. And the one that's been most surprising to me is Horrified. This is a game that I think is going to be my go-to solo or co-op game for new gamers. I'm going to recommend this to anybody I can think of that's new to board gaming as a hobby, because it's got the hook of the IP, it's got that nostalgia factor, but what a terrific little co-op or solo game that you've got along with it. So I think this is such a benefit for board gaming. You've got these games that in the past would have had almost nothing to them that now are giving people a feel for what modern hobby board gaming is like. What are your thoughts on this topic? If you can let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for your time as always, and have a great day.
So what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, a lot of reviews. I haven't 100% determined which ones I'm going to do, but one that I'm really excited to talk about are adventure games. These are from Thames and Cosmos, and they're kind of like the old point-and-click games on computers. I'll also be taking a look at Queen of Houndd, Foothills, Caravan, and a few other games, so pay attention. We'll be putting those up this week. Now, we'll be doing some live stuff this week. We're going to be canceling Testing Tuesday because of the Iceland trip and because of the retreat, but we'll be back the following week with stuff, and there will still be some live stuff this week. There might even be live games played later in the week. We'll have to wait and see. Sam and Roy are going to be holding the fort down while we're gone. Also today, there's going to be a Q&A with me and Sam Healy, and I highly recommend you join us and talk to us there. Something interesting. All right, let's keep moving.
Hi, we're Board Game Opinions. I'm Steve.
I'm Amy.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we're now having a go at a picture quiz. These guys have each got set a problem by me. They have a picture. They've got to try and work out what board game related thing connects the three pictures, but the key bit is they can't show each other the pictures, they have to describe it. We're going to see how they do when they call me back. Alright, let's look.
Let's upside down again.
Oh, I've got camel up. Or is it camel cup?
It's camel up.
I've got a flag that I don't recognise.
Oh, you're joking. A flag.
But it's easy.
Describe it.
It's red, white and green lined, which would make it Italy.
Red, white and... yeah,
It's
Italy.
Italy, Italian flag, yeah.
I've got, it's people playing Marco Polo in a swimming pool, I think.
Marco Polo being...
The Voyagers of Marco Polo.
No. It's like a picture of people in a swimming pool, and I think they're playing Marco Polo, like,
Marco Polo.
I don't know Marco Polo.
What was yours again?
Okay.
I know Polo.
Marco Polo.
It's just a silly voice game.
Silly...
It's not like an actual physical game. It's a silly playground
What
game.
was yours again?
Mine's Camel.
Camel Up.
Which...
The Voyagers.
It's got colours.
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
Which has camels in it.
Yeah.
And it's in it. And Marco Polo is definitely Italian.
Oh, I see. That's the game, isn't it? That's the connection. I think I've got it.
We've said it.
Steve! I've never had the time to look at the pictures. They're pretty sure they're right, and I can confirm they were right. Thankfully, Amy's saying immediately that is not just people in a swimming pool, but people playing the game Marco Polo, which I would never have got that in that picture.
No.
Have you ever played the game?
No, I've never even come across it.
So it would have been more difficult if some of them were swapped around, but thankfully I didn't give the flag to Jonathan. He's very good with his flags. But they managed to solve it this time, did you at home? If you like that, we're going to have another one for you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
So what are we adding to the library this week? Like everything. There's so many games. So I don't have any particular thing in mind here. But like I said, come back. This week we're going to be posting a video that showcases off the library. We spent a lot of time working on this library. Months have gone into putting this together. It's done, except it's not done. It's a living, growing library. And if you want to see what's in it, you can go to DT Library at BoardGameGeek.com, and that's where we're keeping records of everything. But anyhow, that's what got added to the library this week. Shelves.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jonna, and I would like to talk to you all about a game called Photosynthesis. I've seen a couple posts on the Dice Tower Facebook page, people saying, I just got this game, what does everybody think about it? And the reviews have been mixed. You can't talk that way about her. She's beautiful and dynamic, and if you don't get it, then I don't know why you don't get it. I feel like I need to share with everyone how awesome this game is, because not everyone agrees with me. In photosynthesis, you're all playing as different species of trees, and you're all jockeying for space and sunlight in a crowded forest. It's all about spacing and timing. When is the best time to harvest your biggest tree to get the best points? Because as people start collecting these, the total value of them goes down and down. Some people say that this game is too much of the same thing. They get stuck in a rut. Too samey. But I find this not to be the case. There's so much puzzling to go over that I'm always trying something different. This is one of my favorite games. I'm always in the mood to play this game. When I started playing this, I wasn't very good at it, but over time I've actually gotten better. So that's part of the draw for me. I'm like, yeah, I want to try it again. I want to try a different strategy, and I want to see how many points I can get this time. And it's so pretty. It's just like a delight to look at. Thanks for watching this little segment. I hope that you guys have a great day.
Today on Tom Thinks, I'm going to talk about some things in board games that are better than others. For example, it's better to be tall. It's better to wear ties. It's better to
Be Buonocore.
to be Buonocore. No, but one of the things that's interesting is, we often tend to argue publicly, and we mean about 20% of it.
I would have said 5%, but hey.
No, well, actually, sometimes in private we still argue. We forget we're not on air. But
true.
Here's the thing. So we're very different in many different regards.
Many different regards.
But one of the things I like about board gaming is we would never have met without board gaming. You were from New Jersey. I was from Pennsylvania. Those two states don't talk to each other.
We don't like each other.
We really don't. Jokingly, of course. But
of course.
He used to listen to the Dice Tower. And because of the Dice Tower, he started a company. That's probably not true.
Not exactly true.
The first email I ever got from him was an entry into a contest.
That's right. That's how we met.
Which he did not win. But
I think I did win something.
You won a later contest.
Oh, okay.
So I think you won Happy Birthday or something like that. Or
I remember getting some cards from you, some decks of cards, and I don't remember what they were.
So we met at at Origins for the first time, where we had booths that were back to back with each other.
That's right. We actually cooperated. You might want to not take calls during your show. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a
I
thing.
know.
It's a thing. We remember we cooperated on the first Stronghold Games booth at a major convention.
Right, and he had a booth. We were like behind each other.
Yes.
Like I would go through the curtain, and that's where we really got to know each other for the first time, and it was really cool. We were talking about Jack Vasel Fund. You were talking about a company that was just starting, and no one knew about Stronghold other than they were reprinting Survive and Deception,
Confusion, Espionage and Deception in the Cold War, and Code 777. The three games that we actually showed off there almost for the first time.
So really my thinks today is just about the fact that you meet so many cool people in this industry, and there's a lot of times on the internet there is a lot of negativity about publishers and reviewers being friends and stuff, but I poo-poo on that really, because at the end of the day, I want to be friends with people in this industry. They're fantastic, fun people who've given up a lot of their lives. I have no qualms in saying when their games are bad, in my opinion. And he knows this because he comes and yells at me when I do it.
I do.
But our friendship is intact,
Yes, of course it
and
is.
Unfortunately, he moved to my state, and we instead of the Pennsylvania versus New Jersey thing, we compromised in Florida.
We said we'll both move to Florida, a gorgeous weather state, and we have to have about an hour or so between the two of us, or else the war would
reasonable.
go crazy. I think an hour is good.
Right. But all joking aside, one of the things about coming to conventions is that we come to convention, we may not even play a game together, but we have such a good time, and this industry is so great in that Never let anyone tell you otherwise. Never let people talk about how bad the industry is or negative. There are certainly bad eggs that pop up, as will in life.
Of course.
But for the vast majority of people we meet, it's a fantastic time. And, sometimes you meet good friends.
Greetings and welcome to the Mega Meeple. I'm Thomas Grogan. Tattoos. Now, I have 2 tattoos, and I got them long before I got into board gaming. I got one up here, and I got another one up here. And, especially this one here, it took me about, 2 years before I finally settled on what I was going to get and the artwork and stuff like that, because every single thing in this tattoo represents something to me. And I waited a long time before I committed it to ink. But I've seen people that get tattoos that are game specific. Like they'll get the virus icon from Pandemic, or one of the symbols from one of the corporations from Android Netrunner or something like that. If you're going to do something like that, you need to be sure that you're going to love that game for the next 20 years. So I would say if you want to get game specific, it needs to be a game that you have loved and played and been a fan of for at least minimum 5 years. Because at that point, if that love has endured that long, then I think it's fairly safe to say that you could get a tat that's specific to that game, and you can still representative of what you like, decades down the road. But if you want to play it safe, I've seen people get general gaming tattoos, like a Meeple or a Nat 20 inside a hexagon or something like that. If you are into tattoos and you do decide to get one that's an expression of your love of the hobby, just be wise about it. I mean, that's just my hot take. It might be yours, it may not. Who knows? Whatever. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Hey guys, it's Nick, another week of Mental Health Minute, and let's talk about gateway gamers. Now, before we start talking about gateway gamers, the one thing I want you to remember is gateway gamers has the word gamers. They are no better and no worse than a gamer such as myself. Just because they are not as involved in the hobby, just because they're new at it, when you're playing a game, you're a gamer. And that is just something you're doing. We need to respect that and not just say casual gamers or gateway gamers. Now I gotta choose a game that fits for their reasons. And you know what? Yeah, you kind of do. You have to fit a game that works more for them and can get them into the hobby. You want to add them to the experience and add them to this hobby we all enjoy very much. I have this nice little cube right here of games that I typically like to take out and play with gateway gamers or people who are non-gamers. I like to take those out. And I think every shelf needs to have at least one cube like this to really help different varieties of playgroups. Yeah, Ticket to Ride and Pandemic, Azul, stuff like that, they're not going to be my favorite games to play every time. But there's stuff that I can whip out and be like, oh, you haven't played a game before? Whoop. Or, oh, you're not really into board gaming? Whoop. And take these out. It kind of gives us more of a wide range of things to do. And it's important, very important for playgroups to establish these kind of things. Someone brings their buddy to game night, or sometimes bring their significant other to game night, and you want them to also be involved. These are not only good intro games, these are also just good ways to start a gaming night. Like, let's start with one of these and then kind of move our way up, as board game evangelicism has told us here on Board Game Breakfast. There's always lead-ups to things. There's always things that work their way up to the actual content that you really want to play. So, what are your favorite gateway games? What are your favorite game experiences with gateway games? What do you like to use that maybe I don't?
And that's it for another Board Game Breakfast. If you won our contest from last week, then you will have gotten an email that lets you know. And we'll be running more contests in the future. We got Dice Tower podcasts coming out. We have all sorts of cool things. Pay attention to our channel. If you're going to be in Iceland, I'll see you at Midgard. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production, sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., an amazing place to buy board games. Cool stuff. in stock at coolstuffinc.com.